It's Mystic Mod here to talk to you about the Gemini new moon occurring June 6th at 5:38 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So do check for your location on planet Earth as the timing may change if you're going to follow along with your own birth chart. So let's get into it. To me, this is the biggest thing that the Gemini new moon is trying to initiate in our own lives. Is it's encouraging us to take a look at our own personal biases and the way that we try and force our biases onto other people, the ways that we think that we're right and other people are wrong. And then we try and force them to think the way that we do. We tend to feel like our opinions are actually facts when actually they're just our opinions, right? When you call something rude or wrong or whatever, if you call something anything with an adjective, that's just your opinion. Just because you think something is rude or bad or wrong doesn't inherently mean that it is, right? It's just what you think. And where do your biases come from? Well, let me tell you, they come from your past. They come from the way that you grew up, the way your parents grew up affects you because they're your parents, right? The schools that you went to, the people that were around you, um, and your schooling, your religion, all of these cultural things have really shaped who you are now, and they continue to shape who you are, who you're hanging around. It's interesting because actually one of my dear family members, we had the same like growing up experience, but they are now stuck in a state that's rural and have grown, have spent the last like 10 years around like a very different type of people than I have in California. And like now our views are like, whoosh, so really like it never stops. But we are influenced by the people that we hang out with and who are around us. And I've been noticing in the culture in general, like such a huge clash between ideologies, and this Gemini new moon is really emphasizing the need for more peace and diplomacy and love and understanding and acceptance. It is happening right next to Venus. Venus is that planet of love and understanding, but it also represents femininity and also females. And it's also making a trine to another feminine aspect called the Black Moon Lilith, which represents the scorned woman who was ejected from the Garden of Eden for disobeying Adam. And wouldn't you know it, Black Moon Lilith is right next to the south node of the moon in Libra, which is ruled by Venus, right? So the south node of the moon represents things from the past that we're bringing into the now to be healed and evolved and worked on in the north node. So the north and south node of the moon being in Libra and Aries has to do with our relationships. It's about balancing things, our opinion, our right to our individuality and other people's rights to their own individuality, and this has been an ongoing theme. Our relationships, not just like our lovers, not just our families, but our relationships to total strangers on the internet, right? The relationship to, thinking about other cultures, like people who we have never even sort of met, thinking about the people of Palestine or Israel and like our relation, if you have a feeling about something, you have a relationship to it, right? So this new moon is about examining our own thought patterns, seeing what is ours and what is just been placed on us by the society around us, the culture around us, and deciding whether we agree with it or not. Is it in alignment with our values? Venus is about questioning our values and our worth and other people's worth, right? But also the Lover's card, which is associated with Gemini, is about making choices. It's about choosing who we want to be versus who we've been told to be. So, anyways, moving on, we also have Chiron, the wounded healer, that represents the deepest psychological wounding we have since our birth, like is right next to Mars, both in Aries, the planet of war and aggression and me, and I want, And again, that's all happening next to the North Node too, and opposite all this like feminine energy in the South Node. So, what this is emphasizing is the wounded masculine and also the wounding to our own identity. All right. Again, how can we know who we really are outside of the influences that we experience as children, the influences that we're experiencing now by the people and culture and situations around us? This is really deciding who is Nancy or Patrick or whoever you are watching this, and what you want to stand for. So we also have Jupiter making a conjunction to Mercury, and Jupiter is our belief systems, and Mercury is our thought patterns and our speech patterns, what we choose to say, our communication. It rules Gemini. It's the ruler of Gemini. So Mercury, of course, naturally plays an important role in this. And both Jupiter and Mercury are making a trine to Pluto. And Pluto is a planet of transformation. And wouldn't you know it, Pluto is in Aquarius. Aquarius is literally the planet of rebellion. It's the planet of breaking down old beliefs, old structures, things that hold us back and hold us down so that we can build something new and better together. It's revolution. And so all of these aspects are coming in to show us the way that we need to transform our own thinking, our own understanding, and be more mindful about where our thinking comes from, where we are coming from ego, where we are coming from our desire to control, because also we have Saturn coming in like a hot, wet blanket, making almost an exact square to the new moon. And Saturn represents authority. It is the father, the disciplinary, who's like, no, you will come home at a certain time, or you will do this, or you will do this. You must obey, right? So it's really pressurizing the whole situation and showing us where we are telling other people that, right? Where we're like, your opinion is wrong and you better believe it. Believe what I say. But really, when have we ever changed anyone's opinion by forcing it onto them or insulting them into believing what we believe? No, we change minds through peace and diplomacy and understanding, again, where Venus comes in. So this new moon really is an opportunity to examine your own thoughts. Something useful that I have found is asking myself 4 questions. Does this need to be said? Does this really need to be said? Does it need to be said right now? And does this need to be said by me? And sometimes it does, right? But it's important to slow yourself down and see the difference. But also, is what you're about to say true? Is it helpful? Is it important? Is it necessary? And is it kind? I hope this was all really helpful. If you'd like to check out what's going on in your own chart, please let me know. I'm available for readings. Please like, share with your friends, and subscribe, and have a happy new moon.